We got 1.18 on its way in the next 30 days, and then another 1.8.
Yeah, so it's 2.9. Like at 3%, it's $89,000.
Meet Jewel, an agent out of Fairbanks, Alaska, which is basically as far north as you can get. After working together for just 18 weeks, she had $2,535,000 under contract from Instagram, which comes out to about $76,000 in GCI in just over 4 months. Before working together, Jewel was actually pretty consistent on Instagram, and the only thing she really needed help with was her messaging and then how to actually create the conversations and book the consultations. On top of that $2+ million under contract, she also had an additional $1.2 million in the pipeline, ready to go over the next few months. So let's see how she did it.
Over the last 16 weeks, you have basically one buy sell that you're currently working right now, right?
Right. The buy side closes April 30th and the list side closes May 2nd.
Okay, right there.
Yeah.
So what's the value of these then?
1.18.
We got 1.18 on its way in the next 30 days. That's pretty awesome. And then after that, what's in the pipeline from Instagram?
2 of them are under contract.
So how much under contract?
None of them yet.
Oh, I thought you said 2 are under contract.
Oh, they're under a buy contract with me. Like
Oh,
they signed my contract.
gotcha.
with
Fine.
me.
Yeah, you have 4 active clients essentially, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
What's the value of those?
Those 3 are like 1.8.
We got 1.1 under.
Yeah.
And then another 1.8.
Yeah, so it's 2.9.
Nice. Okay, so 2.9 is like what, 90 grand?
Like at 3%, it's $89,000. I should be on cloud 9.
Real quick, wanted to clarify something. 1 week after this conversation, Jewel reached out to me over Instagram to say that one of her listings that she had met through Instagram went under contract with someone else that she had met through Instagram as well. So she was able to double in that deal at $675,000, which is how we were able to add $1.35 million under contract to the already under contract $1.185, bringing her total to $2,535,000 under contract, plus 2 additional buyers in the pipeline over the next few months at 1.2 million, bringing her total GCI at 76,000 plus pipeline GCI at 36,000. So hope that clears it up. Now back to the conversation.
Do you know how these are coming? Like if you were to kind of look at them, would you say like, yeah, I think most of them are coming from one specific spot, new followers, story polls, that sort of thing?
Yeah, they're coming from the story polls and the listing comment. And I should
your listing.
Yeah.
So that it looks good on you.
Yeah. I mean, when I think about it, it might be easy for me to be like, that's not going to work, which I felt the first time I did it. And boom, I got one. And I was like, holy shit. And it keeps happening.
Let me ask you. So before we met, were you getting any leads from Instagram? Had you closed any deals?
It's like kind of vague. It's like hard. I think last year I literally have on my actual like one that says Instagram. Like I could point to one. He's down in Anchorage. He follows me on Instagram and he referred his older parents to me and I sold their home. Nice. Everybody else is like, well, I don't know. I see you all over and like I read your reviews and nobody like I can't pin down. There certainly was no conversation, not at all like I'm having now. You know, yeah. I definitely can be like 100% Instagram has brought me clients.
Yeah.
And I was not like that before.
What do you think the biggest change was? Like, what was the difference between, let's say, last year and this year?
Nailing, which sometimes I still get like a little fuzzy in my head, but like being forced to think about my ideal client, right? That first like exercise that we did, and learning how to speak to them, like learning how to speak to their pain points, because like what comes automatic is it's all about me. So when I like look back in my feed or I watch other realtors, I'm like, oh, I used to do that. I used to make it all about me. And so like learning finally how to like flip it to like it's more about them, that has been super helpful. And then just like all of it, like learning how to take better B-roll, like simple things, a reveal shot. I look back in my B-roll albums and I'm like, holy shit, that sucked. Like a year ago, it sucked. And so just like learning how to do things that are like more pleasing to watch, learning fonts, like all those little things that kind of come together. I can spot it when others are doing it wrong. And I'm like, oh, I see now. Like all these little things are. So I just
Also,
think I have it.
flip side, do you feel like you can now spot the people you travel? Like
Yeah.
these are the people that we want to put them in our little Rolodex, right? Of people to reference. Like we want to
Yeah.
find that in our minds, we say they know what they're doing. But you can't say they know what they're doing unless you know what you're doing for the most part.
Right. Yeah. I'll be like posting something and I'll folder of saved.
Could go get super fancy with my house tours, or I could be super hilarious and be like, here's where I would hide, or something like something stupid, right? But it's just like, what is the bare minimum that I can do to just stay consistent? Like, we're all too busy to be creative, honestly, in my opinion. And
Yeah.
so the question to you is like, do you feel at this point that you have, like, because most times when I talk to people, they struggle with consistency. And if they don't struggle with consistency, they struggle with posting the wrong stuff consistently. And so do you feel like at this point, you know what to do to stay consistent, and not just stay consistent? You have an idea of at least like, this is all I need to post. Like, it doesn't need to be crazy.
Yeah. Like I have a ton of drafts and it feels like it's just flowing out of me a whole lot easier. I feel like I've had to like focus in and like, no, like there's too much noise. Like I look at your weekly reel suggestions.
Yeah.
I'm like to the best of my ability, like working off of that. Like that's most of where I'm getting my prompts from, actually. Sometimes I'll come across somebody and I'll be like, oh, let me like tweak that. I still think I'm working on my prompts. Like sometimes I'm like,
Sure.
that sucked. If I go off script, you know. But no, I'm not struggling to stay consistent. I have multiple like drafts that I could go at any time.
Cool. What do you feel like was some of the most valuable parts of it? Like, what do you feel like you got the most out of?
Probably like learning how to speak to my ideal client. Like I struggled so hard with not making it about me. Why? But thinking about my ideal client really hard. And then like over and over and over seeing these prompts and listening to you and hearing you ask me, well, is that what your ideal client would say? Is that what they're thinking about? I've had some big aha moments. So I think like that's what I've learned.
I'm looking back at your old stuff now. See, now I'm looking at a post from 29 weeks ago, September 2024, and it says you bought your new dream home. Like, you could probably look at that now and be like, I could probably add a little spice to that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like all the little things that work together, right? The calling out your location, the putting your best shots up front, the like you got to have movement, the right fonts, the right prompt, all of it.
And calls to action. I see in every single
Yeah.
video, you have your phone number to schedule a showing.
Yeah.
Did anyone ever call you from your phone number?
No, not one time.
Did you? Well, and so the funny thing is that everyone has their phone number, right, in their phone, in their caption. But I'm pretty sure I can't copy and paste that. And so what I have to do is I have to stay on Instagram, and then I have to switch over to my phone, and I have to remember the 9-digit phone number when in reality I'm not. And so I have to keep switching over, and it like literally makes no sense. And that's why you add this simple addition of just like comment this word makes everything.
I guess I would say that I have learned that putting my number out there wasn't getting me anything. Nobody was booking a call, but putting a link out there is starting to like get things.
Nice.
Sellers. So I think that like you helped me improve my systems for sure.
That's awesome. So I guess so we have 5 clients. Are you saying you still have some consultations you are yet to have?
Yeah. I went on one listing appointment last night.
Okay.
They'll sign.
Okay, so that's another one.
Yeah.
Okay. What was that?
400 and some change. I go on another listing appointment on the 21st. I go on another one like a little bit later that week. So basically, I learned how to do links better.
Yeah. Right. Funnels, essentially.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's what a funnel is, getting people to take an action at some point at the bottom. But congrats, that's super awesome.
Super grateful for everything that you've taught me. I'm really, really thankful I ran across that post of yours. It's been worth it times 10.
Love to hear it. What would be who would you say the perfect person for me to help would be? Where are they currently at in their situation?
Well, I just have to think about myself. It's like you've been a realtor, you have like all these old school mentalities because you like have worked in a brokerage for forever that told you if you're not butts in seat calling, 200 people a day, you're doing it wrong. You pay for leads, that's how you do business. And it's like they get you, like these old brokers, like just brainwash you into thinking that you're not going to be successful if you're just not doing it this old school way and spending thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars to generate business. And that's not true. Like you can be a single mom, you can be a stay-at-home mom, like you could be somebody who's been in this business for 20 years and you can totally crush it by doing it completely differently than what they're teaching you, which I think is what like most brokerages and teams, if you go to, that's still what they're teaching you. They're not teaching you how to generate your own business. Why? Well, because then you wouldn't stay with them. They make you like afraid. I mean, I worked at a brokerage. I was afraid to leave and do it on my own because of what they had taught me. So now I'm like, no, I am not spending any money on any platforms at all. I'm spending like a couple bucks a month on ManyChat and Flowdesk and Beacons, and I'm like creating funnels. And yeah, I'm going through the roller coaster that is Instagram. But I think I think the sooner you start out with a coach like you and the quicker you get it, like I think your business will explode. And at the very least, you'll have like as much as you want and you're not paying for Zillow. There's so many opportunities out there, right? So you're like, okay, should I have Standstore? Should I do Beacon? What should I do? Should I have Linktree? So to have somebody be like, just do this.
Yeah.
And then like, this is how to do it. Like, I'm not that techie. I would have floundered about trying to set up Beacons by myself. So being able to like, oh, okay, follow it. And like, now I know what I'm doing. Having somebody to be like, hey, I'm like, what am I doing on ManyChat? Like, this is how you set up a whatever you call it, tiered flow. Like those seem simple, but actually they would have taken up so much of my time. And I probably would have been like, fuck this.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's crippling anxiety when you're dealing with something like that and you haven't done it yourself. And you're like, at this point, it's like I have such limited time to solve problems that if my solution is literally to go to YouTube, watch a 20-minute video that I hope can solve my problem and then realize that it can't, now I'm just like, great, maybe I'll just solve it tomorrow. Who knows?
Oh my God. Aside from all the other like little pep talks and support that you can get along the way.
Yeah. You got results because you trusted the process. If I look back at what you've done, you've stayed consistent. You've continued to do exactly what I say, which is stay consistent, learn your ideal client, have conversations, relearn it, try something new. You've tried out a lot of different hooks, a lot of different text on screen, a lot of different fonts, a lot of different styles. And this is why you're at where you're at.
Wow, that and your help. Thank you.
So if you want to learn how to use Instagram to build your brand, reach more people, and create more consultations and grow your real estate business utilizing Instagram, then follow me on Instagram at Jimmy Conover Official and DM me the word grow and we can chat about it.